Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are taking on maybe the toughest opponent any of us ever face, ourselves.
Yeah, that internal landscape.
Exactly, where, self-doubt just echoes and fear seems to have moved in permanently.
And those past mistakes, they can feel like this heavy cloak you just can't shake off.
Right.
But what's interesting about the sources we've looked at for today is they're not really clinical texts.
No,
they're more like parables, stories, motivational narratives, and they offer these really practical, mindset-based ways to build, internal strength, resilience.
Okay, so our mission today then is to kind of cut through all that internal noise.
Yeah, and pull up maybe 3 core strategies, like a mental roadmap.
A roadmap. I like that, to get from feeling, totally overwhelmed.
To feeling empowered, using these internal tools.
Got it. So where do we start?
Well, we have to start with the biggest one, right? The great paralyzer, fear.
Fear. Okay. And these stories, how did they frame it? Is it just an emotion?
Not quite. It's more like an internal enemy.
Right.
Its main tactic is whispering that you're just not strong enough.
That you can't handle whatever's coming.
Exactly. It loves shadows, feeds on your doubts. It really just amplifies what you're already worried about.
Okay, so how does that play out in the first story? The one with the 2 friends.
Right. So picture this. 2 friends traveling, end of the day, sun's going down.
Setting the mood.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's getting quiet, misty, kind of creepy. They find shelter in this old cave, darkness all around.
Perfect incubator for dread.
Exactly. But here's the key thing. The fear doesn't start because they hear a bear or something.
No. What then?
One of the friends starts getting really uneasy, trembling even. Why? Because his head is full of stories.
Stories he's heard.
Yeah, tales about spirits that supposedly haunt that specific forest after dark, looking for lost souls. You know the type.
So it's manufactured fear, based on hearsay.
Precisely. It's anxiety born from anticipation, not reality. And that's why the other friend, the calm one, his response is so crucial.
What does he say?
He just asks this simple, direct question. Have you ever actually seen a ghost with your own eyes?
Ooh, that cuts right through it, doesn't it?
Instantly. It just highlights how fear loves to grow, where imagination is left unchecked. It thrives on other people's narratives, not your own experience.
But even if it's based on stories, the feeling is real for the guy, right? The struggle.
Absolutely. It's intense. He eventually falls asleep, kind of fitfully.
And the fear follows him.
Into his dreams. He has this nightmare. This dark, shapeless thing comes out of the cave shadows.
Oh, wow.
Getting bigger, reaching for him with these long, cold claws. And he's just frozen. Can't move, can't scream, pure dread.
That feeling of being completely powerless. Okay, so what's the fix? What did the calm friend tell him to do?
Well, the advice was pretty radical, kind of counterintuitive. He said, don't run.
Don't run from the nightmare monster.
Yeah. He said, next time that thing comes for you, stand your ground, look it in the eye, metaphorically speaking, and tell it, I am not afraid. Show yourself.
So confront it directly.
Right. And the warning was, fear only wins if you give up your voice, if you surrender.
I like the focus on using your voice, actually saying it. Does he do it?
He does. In the dream, when the shadow comes back, he shouts it out, I am not afraid. Louder and stronger each time.
And what happens?
It's described as, miraculous. With every word he shouts, the shadow starts to shrink.
Really?
Yeah, smaller and weaker, until poof, it just vanishes.
So the act of verbally challenging it actually diminishes its power.
That's the core idea. It's an active thing. You have to use your voice, your words, to shrink that internal shadow.
Okay, but let's push on that a bit. Is that just about self-talk? I mean, what if the threat was real in the outside world? Standing your ground isn't always the best advice then, is it?
That's a really important point. This parable, it's purely metaphorical. It's about the internal landscape.
Right.
The moment you name that internal fear, you acknowledge it, but then you declare it doesn't control you. You shift power from that panic subconscious part of your brain
to the conscious rational part.
Exactly. It's about that conscious verbal commitment. It basically teaches your brain, hey, my voice, my intention is stronger than this anxiety.
Okay, so the takeaway is clear. Real strength isn't running away, it's facing the fear, using your own belief, refusing to be paralyzed.
Yeah.
Right. So if facing fear is about mental commitment, this next challenge, consistency. That feels more about stamina, right? Physical and emotional.
Definitely. This is where we tackle that feeling of, putting in all this effort and seeing nothing. That doubt that creeps in.
A struggle when results aren't immediate. Who hasn't felt that?
Exactly. And the story introduces us to Rohan. He's 16, and his big dream is a district sports academy.
Okay. Is he like a super talented athlete?
Not really. The story says he's not the smartest or fastest naturally, but his silent power is that he just doesn't give up.
Tenacity.
Huge tenacity, because for 2 solid years, he runs every single local race. Every one. He always loses. Or, well, comes in second or third, consistently not winning.
Ouch. 2 years of that. What are people saying?
His friends are doing the usual thing. Right. Dude, you try so hard, you're still not winning. Maybe you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, you can just feel that doubt starting to weigh on him.
Totally. And the breaking point comes one morning. It's raining, he's training, slips on a muddy trail, falls hard.
Physical pain.
But the emotional pain is worse. He finally just breaks down crying. He says it out loud, what his friends were saying, what he was starting to fear. I try so hard, I still lose. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm just not good enough.
Oh, man. That's a tough moment. We've all been there, right? Looking at something you've poured your heart into for ages and just thinking, what's the point?
It's that feeling, yeah. Effort just feels totally disproportionate to the outcome. That's where consistency breaks down for so many people.
But something happens. There's an intervention.
Yeah, this old farmer is walking by with his cows, sees the kid crying, and stops. And he gives him this perfect, simple analogy. The bamboo grove.
The bamboo grove. Tell me about that.
It's brilliant. The farmer explains how bamboo works. For 5 full years, you plant the seed, you water it, you care for it every single day.
Okay.
And for 5 years, nothing, absolutely nothing comes out of the ground. The soil just stays bare.
5 years of watering dirt. That takes faith.
Right. Then, suddenly, in just a few weeks, maybe 6 weeks, it shoots up. 80 feet tall.
Whoa. 80 feet in a few weeks after 5 years of nothing.
Exactly. And the farmer asks Rohan, so, son, did the bamboo grow 80 feet in 6 weeks?
Well, no, obviously not. It was doing something else for 5 years.
Precisely. It wasn't visible, but the crucial work was happening underground. It was growing these massive, deep, strong roots, building the foundation it needed to support that incredible height later on.
Okay. I see where this is going.
Yeah, the farmer tells him straight, son, you're growing your roots right now. You're building that foundation. Don't stop now just because you can't see the stalk yet.
Wow. That's powerful. How did Rohan take that?
It changed everything for him. His whole focus shifted. He realized he wasn't running to prove his friends wrong anymore.
He was running to prove himself right about his own commitment.
Exactly. He stopped obsessing about winning or losing, about the finish line. He started focusing on his process, his rhythm, his breathing, his form. Staying patient.
He focused on the root building.
You got it. And a year later, the big district inter-school race comes up. Rohan runs his race. Steady, focused. He internalizes that bamboo lesson. Someone passes him, he doesn't panic. He trusts his foundation.
And
in the final stretch, the last 200 meters, other runners who maybe didn't build those deep roots start to falter. They burn out.
But
Rohan maintains his pace, his rhythm. He passes them. He wins the whole thing.
Because of the roots.
Yep.
Because of the consistency.
Yeah, the unseen work paid off.
Okay, but how do we apply that today? In our world, everything's about instant results, right? How do we keep watering that seed when we see absolutely nothing for maybe years? How do we trust the roots are growing?
It means we have to fundamentally change how we measure success during that building phase.
Okay.
For those 5 years the bamboo's underground, success isn't measured by height. It's measured by depth, by stability, by the foundation being built. Every drop of water counts, even if you don't see a sprout.
So if your goal requires, say, 80 feet of eventual height,
you cannot skip the 5 years of invisible root work. Consistency is trusting that effort is building something massive beneath the surface. And honestly, most people quit right before the breakthrough, right before the bamboo shoots up.
Don't stop watering the seed. Got it. Incredible. Okay, let's move to the third challenge. This one feels heavier, maybe? Guilt, regret over past mistakes.
Yeah, the things we did or said. The anger, the hurtful words, things that just follow us around.
How do we deal with that weight?
Well, this brings us to the story of the man who goes searching for a wise monk up in the mountains.
Seeking wisdom?
Yeah, he's burdened. He can't forgive himself, even if maybe the other people involved have moved on.
Yeah.
And his question is just raw. Master, how do I let go of my past mistakes? They haunt me.
I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling. What does the monk say? Just forgive yourself?
It's much more radical than that. It's about reframing the entire purpose of the mistake.
Yeah.
It's about utility.
Utility. How can a mistake be useful?
The monk puts it beautifully. He says if you can truly learn from your mistake, if you can use that lesson to actually improve yourself, then you have turned garbage into a flower.
Garbage into a flower. Wow. That's quite an image.
Isn't it? And the sources say this flower, this new wisdom, this skill you gained because of the mistake, it doesn't just benefit you now.
Who else?
It benefits your ancestors, maybe future generations, and potentially even the people you might have hurt, because you've become a wiser, less harmful person because of that learning.
So it shifts the focus from just feeling bad
To extracting value, to growth. It's not about dwelling on the garbage. It's about appreciating the flower that grew from it.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does that work practically? Does the monk give any guidance there?
Yeah, he does something really important. He avoids labeling people.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about good people or evil people.
No.
Instead, he introduces this distinction: skillful versus unskillful.
Skillful and unskillful. What does that mean?
He explains that mistakes happen not usually because we're fundamentally bad or malicious. They happen because in that moment we were unskillful.
Unskillful how?
We lacked awareness, maybe. Or we didn't have good emotional regulation. We didn't know how to handle the situation better. We just didn't have the right skills at that specific time.
That's actually a really profound shift. It takes away the judgment, doesn't it? It answers that awful question, am I just a bad person?
Exactly. The answer becomes no, you were just operating without the necessary skill in that moment.
But does unskillful mean we just get a pass? Does skillful mean just learning a technique? Or is it deeper, like emotional intelligence?
It seems to mean both. Being skillful involves developing the emotional and mental discipline to act with more mindfulness.
Like pausing before reacting in anger.
Yeah, understanding your triggers, learning to regulate, gaining the awareness so you don't repeat the same unskillful action again and again.
Right.
When you become more skillful, you cause less suffering to yourself and others.
Okay. But this brings up a question the man actually asks the monk, right? Does this mean I just forget what I did? Is this just letting myself off the hook? Accountability.
A super important point. And the monk is very clear. No, it's not about forgetting or dodging responsibility. You absolutely need to learn from it. You need to be honest about it. Take responsibility.
Yeah.
But, and this is crucial, he says, do not punish yourself forever. Allow the learning to happen. Allow yourself to move forward, changed by the experience.
Don't stay stuck in the garbage pile, essentially.
Right. Nurture the flower. And there's one more layer, too, about interacting with others involved.
If you need to talk about it with someone you hurt.
Exactly. The monk warns that if you do need to address past wrongs with others, it has to be done with immense kindness and compassion.
Why?
Because the goal isn't to stir everything up again, to cause more pain or trauma, either for them or for you.
Oh.
He calls that delicate communication, finding a way to address the past without creating more harm in the present. He calls that the art and the real practice. It takes enormous skillfulness itself.
So it's not about ignoring the past, but about handling it skillfully in the present, if needed.
Precisely. The core idea is every mistake is a chance to wake up, to learn, to grow.
And by actually doing that, by integrating the lesson...
You stop carrying it like this dead weight. You literally transform the garbage of the past into the garden of the future.
Okay. So wrapping this all together then, we've unpacked these three sort of pillars for internal strength today.
Yeah, 3 core strategies drawn from these stories. First, facing fear. Not running, but verbally challenging that internal shadow, refusing to give up your voice.
Right. Second, consistency. Trusting the process, knowing those roots are growing deep even when you can't see a single sprout above ground. Don't quit before the bamboo shoots up.
Exactly. And third, reframing mistakes. Seeing them not as proof you're bad, but as moments of unskillfulness. And then using that garbage to grow a flower of wisdom.
What really strikes me is that none of these depend on external factors, do they? It's not about luck or circumstance changing.
Not at all. It's all internal shifts. Mental reframing, verbal commitment, trust in the process.
The strength is already there inside you. It's about accessing it using these specific mindsets. You always have the choice not to quit, whether you're facing down a shadow, watering invisible roots, or looking at past regrets.
Yeah. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. We heard that learning from mistakes turns garbage into a flower. So maybe take a moment later and think about the biggest mistake you feel you've ever made. What specific, unique skill, or maybe what depth of awareness did that mistake force you to cultivate?
What flower grew out of that garbage?
Exactly.
Okay.
And how is that flower, that skill, that awareness maybe already benefiting your life right now, today? Something to consider as you move forward.